what are we taking away from this record, lyrically? Now, this record is an all-out assault, really.
You know, I spent some time, I know I was there with him in the studio when he recorded Clouds Over California and a lot of songs off Last Kind Words, but I've never really been with Dez when he's been doing vocals.
I mean, there's songs about your life being destroyed by trust. You know, there's also the first love song I've ever written to my wife called For What It's Worth. That's just the heaviest thing on this planet.
With every record, you know, I don't think he's ever sounded exactly the same. You know, you just kind of do what's best for the songs, and you know, this time we had a little, you know, really a lot of thought into the pitches of the vocals and how, you know, how they fit into the songs and how they fit against the riffs, and you know, we really wanted to nail things down and have it really be catchy and digestible, but still super heavy and aggressive, and I think that's what we've done. Something
totally authentic. It has roots in a lot of my punk rock background. This is more volatile than I've ever been lyrically. I'm really trying to enunciate and sing almost differently. It's DevilDriver, but with more of a push and more of a punk rock feel, and making sure that like I'm not laying back on any words, that you're getting everything thrown at you, and you feel that. But I think what you're going to take out of this record is a lot of emotion, man. There's a lot of emotion in this record.
This time around on this record, Dez he's put more effort into vocals than I've ever seen him do in the past. I think he would usually, you know, come up with a couple ideas for a chorus, a couple ideas for a verse, and then just come up with things on spur of the moment for midsections and intros, outros, and things like that. But this time he sent me his ideas that he's had, just, you know, him playing the instrumentals on his computer or whatever, and then, you know, singing into his phone. And then he sent me a lot of those ideas, and just, you know, he's got intros, he's got outros, he's got midsections, he's got multiple ideas for verses and choruses, and you can just tell he's super excited about getting on this record.
The writing process for me is always the same, right? I have to get demos, and I have to like the songs to start writing. So there's always an abundance of things coming my way. So we could start with 20-something songs, but we narrow it down to 15, 16. I start writing to 13, 14. They record demos, they get together, do that, then send it to me. And I like to be alone, and I lock myself in this room for months on end, daily. The best writing times for me are like 4 a.m. in the morning to like 3:30 in the afternoon, for some reason. There's something about coming down here in the morning time, just everything is dead around you. I mean, no one's even on Wi-Fi. You can feel there's no energy in the air, and you're only one creating.
Then the old Dez special did it at his house at Haunted Studios.
He discovered on Winter Kills, he bought a vocal booth and put it into an extra room he had in his house. I think that was one of the greatest ideas he's ever had, because I think Dez, I think he finds that he works better from home. Yeah, back in Dez's house for vocals, which is great. It's fun. You know, he has a nice little booth set up, and I just bring some of my gear down there, and we just kind of, you know, I roll in about, you know, 11:30 or noon every day, and you know, he's been up warming up. We chill out, and you know, he does his ritual, and I just get ready to go, and it's just a great environment to be creative in.
Then Mark will come in, and Mark will go over the lyrics with me. We'll do whisper tracks to everything that's been finally recorded musically. Once that's all down and really worked out, so we don't waste any emotion in the booth, right? So I don't go in there and waste an hour trying to get one take off, whatever, because I like to do a lot of takes in a row. Because we're so prepared with these whisper tracks that we do back and forth, I go in and I hit it, and that's basically the process.
You know, he's had a ton of lyrics and a ton of ideas, and we just, basically him and I just sat there and just cemented everything through and laid down some great stuff.